Many writers and artists had cats and dogs, and sometimes used them as inspiration for their stories or their paintings. The poet Emily Dickinson owned Carlo, a large dog that she took with her on long walks and that she mentions in a few poems and letters. The Argentinian writer Jorge Luis Borges had as a companion for 15 years a white cat, Beppo, to whom he dedicated at least 2 poems. The painter Edward Munch, creator of He Scream, had a dog that became so inseparable from him that he took him even to the movies. But other artists had a bit more unusual pets. Here in the video have shared a list of 5 with some of the more exotic ones. At number 5, we have the Flannery O'Connor's backward walking chicken. Before becoming famous as the author of Good Man Is Hard to Find and other brilliant short stories, Flannery O'Connor was briefly famous as a 5-year-old child, but for owning a chicken that could walk backwards. The animal and the young future author were recorded in a Path newsreel in 1932, a film that can still be seen today. Her fascination with fowl continued throughout her whole life. Besides chicken, which she used to dress in clothes she made herself, Flannery owned several beloved peacocks, her favorite animals, and reportedly also a toucan and an emu. At number 4, we have the Charles Baudelaire's bat. Charles Baudelaire, the famous French author of Les Fleurs du Mal, lived at the Hôtel du Grand Mirailleur in Brussels from 1864 to 1866. One day as he was walking in the hotel courtyard, a bat fell to his feet. Worried that it might be ill, he picked it up with a handkerchief and took care of the animal as he recovered, feeding him with bread and milk. The bat slept upside down in an empty cage that had before housed a canary, and Baudelaire enjoyed caressing it, to the horror of his young maid, Nellie. When the animal was fully recovered, Baudelaire promised to release it back to the crevices of St. Anne Chapel across the street, where it seemed to have resided before. At number 3, we have the Alexandre Dumas vulture, Dioghi previously Jugurtha. Alexandre Dumas' father, the author of The Three Musketeers and The Count of Monte Cristo, was another writer who enjoyed having exotic animals. In his country estate, besides 5 dogs and a cat, he also kept 3 monkeys, 2 parrots, a golden pheasant and a vulture. He purchased the vulture at a cheap price from a local in Constantine, Algeria, but bringing him to France cost him quite a bit more. He named the bird Jugurtha, in homage to the ancient emperor of Numidia who was born in the same city called Cirta at that time. However, when at the writer's house, the vulture took an empty barrel as his preferred residence, and so it was renamed Diogenes, in homage to the Greek philosopher who reportedly lived inside a barrel as well. At number 2, we have the Henrik Ibsen's Scorpion. In 1865, the Norwegian playwright Henrik Ibsen was still unknown and was living in Rome, surviving on a meager scholarship. There he started to write the first play that would make him famous. As he wrote the play, he found a scorpion crawling on the floor, and decided to keep him at his desk as he wrote, inside an empty beer glass. As he later told it in a letter to a friend, "During the time I was writing Brand I had on my desk a glass with a scorpion in it. From time to time the little animal was ill. Then I used to give it a piece of soft fruit, upon which it fell furiously and emptied its poison into it, after which it was well again. Of course, it could be that the animal was simply enraged at his fruit diet, as scorpions are predators who normally prefer to eat insects." Finally, at number 1, we have the Princess Vilma of Parlegi's Lion, Gold Fleck, almost forgotten today. Princess Vilma of Parlegie was quite famous as a painter in the late 19th and early 20th century. Perhaps her most famous painting is her 1916 portrait of Nikola Tesla, the only portrait for which the inventor posed during his life. Born in Hungary, Vilma lived in several cities including Paris and Prague, where she married and quickly divorced a Russian prince, earning her princess title. Then she relocated to New York in 1909, taking residence at the Plaza Hotel. She loved animals and once took a fancy at a lion cub that she saw at a circus. When the circus owner refused to sell her the cub, she asked her friend and Civil War hero Daniel E. Sickles to get it for her. The circus owner could not refuse to give the cub to a war hero, and he then gave it to the princess. She called him Goldfleck and lived with him and several other animals at her suite at the hotel. She occasionally took him for walks on a leash in Central Park. The animal unfortunately did not live long, becoming ill just 2 years later and dying in 1912. He is the only lion interred at Hartsdale Pet Cemetery. Thank you so much for watching the video. See you all in the next video. Till then, take care, stay safe, and don't forget to subscribe the channel for more interesting videos.